That's different. Where's the... Whoa. Hey,
Hi. Hi.
this is different.
Yeah, decided I might get remodeling on some stuff.
Why is that?
Keeping everything important upstairs. But I figured this place could use a fresh coat of paint, much like everything else.
Maybe. It's very different.
Yeah, I figured, place is really depressing. Could use a facelift.
Mm. It's just everything's different.
Yeah, it's not a problem, is it?
No, no, it's not. Just looking. It's fine.
Yeah, a lot of really rough memories here.
Yeah,
Figured might make them better. Make the place look a little nicer.
yeah, I can see that. Hmm. It
Mm.
looks nice.
Yeah, thank you. What are you up to today?
Just been walking around. I was at Spawn earlier, and then I walked over by the church again.
Hmm.
Just been doing not a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, I've just been over here, been remodeling this. We were hanging out here yesterday, and I was like, damn, this place is really sad. So
Are the
figured,
bedrooms still upstairs?
yeah, they're all upstairs. They're cleaned up though, for the most part.
What about where's the other ones?
I I have them in storage right now. I'm gonna lay them out at the museum,
Hmm.
but I figured I wanted to clean this place out. But they're all at the museum in boxes.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It's still really empty. I thought about turning this place either into an actual house or some kind of a memorial.
it's weird seeing all of our old places we used to live be turned into history museums.
Yeah, but I figured, you know, needed to happen at some point.
I
Had to
suppose.
get out of there and move on to something better,
Yeah,
We were all miserable here.
yeah.
It's a lot of history to confront.
Hmm.
Is he teaching you how to play?
He said he would. Uh, he said I was getting better, that I wasn't that bad at it.
That's good. That's good. I feel strange, the whole thing you just said about every, places we used to live, call home, turn into a history museum. I don't know if it's a bad thing for me to want to preserve that or something, but
It's
if you don't
just
like it, I'll stop.
no. It's just it's not bad. It's just takes some getting used to. Especially, you know, feels like the entirety of zero is kind of treated like its own, you know, it's less of where we used to live and more of like a cautionary tale. You know, you're not supposed to repeat what happened there, even though that's sort of where I
Where
lived.
we're headed. There are lots of people who don't like us from Zero. I know we've been over this a billion times, but I get a really bad feeling about seeing their mistrust for the rest of us. You know?
I really just don't want more stuff to start.
I don't want this either. I don't know what I'd do. It's a little infuriating to see people act like this, you know?
I suppose.
I wish they'd learned from my mistakes,
Do they
you
know your
know?
mistakes?
I've tried to tell them and they don't believe me. They don't trust me enough to believe that it's in their best interest that they don't go form groups to other people.
Mm.
I don't know. Sorry.
What?
I've just been thinking about that. I think about it every time I clean a place like this out.
Think
How
about what?
different things could have been. You know? How different things could have been if we had just done something right.
I tried a lot of the times to fix stuff and it just never worked.
Sometimes you can't fix it, you know? You can only clean up after.
Just feels like no one really listened to me.
That's gonna change.
Is it?
I think so. It's so exhausting. Some of these new proxies are really difficult.
Yeah. Some of them are nice, just some of them freak me out a little bit.
Yeah. I- Oh, why are you here? Oh, get away.
Ow.
I did not know that that wasn't well lit. Let me. That's why.
Ow.
Oh, don't fall.
I know it's a little too late for that.
Well, don't fall more. Yeah. Do you think this looks nice?
Yeah, it's different, but it's nice. I like it.
Figured this entire place could use a change of pace.
Yeah.
It's been building dust for God knows how long.
I still don't even know what I'm gonna do with my old house.
Maybe we can take that and turn it into something like a greenhouse.
Hmm. Maybe. I
Grow some
almost am
flowers.
a little scared to touch it.
Why's that?
I don't want to change things. I feel like every time I change something, something goes wrong. I kind of just want to keep stuff the way it is so everything stays the same.
I guess I understand a little bit. I don't think I agree, but I understand. I know change has been a lot for you, and it'd be nice if things stood still sometimes, but time waits for no one. I don't know. I don't know if we should wait on things to go back to normal or stay the same because they never will. I don't know. Why do you want things to stay the same so bad? Weren't they miserable?
Just I don't know because for a while, I mean, there were times when things were good. I mean, I just there's parts of it that I do miss, and I feel like if stuff keeps changing and everyone keeps moving on, then we'll get further away from it, and I won't be able to even recognize anything anymore.
Maybe that's a good thing?
But I don't want to forget.
Hmm. I mean, that's why we're preserving things like this.
But
Facelifting them.
it's still changing. It's still different. The more we chip away and take away the old, the less of it there'll be, and then it'll just be not even recognizable anymore. That's why I'm afraid to touch my old house. That's why I'm afraid of anything from zero being touched because I don't want it to change.
Then I won't touch your old house.
But at the same time, it just makes me feel. It feels like it's just kind of hanging over my shoulder that there's this looming thing that everyone's going to be questioning. I mean, it's no one understands it the way I do, and it's just I don't know. Everyone hated zero, but I I didn't hate it all the time. It's kind of all I knew for a really long time, so it's just we bring over all these places from zero in hopes of keeping them with us, and then we just go and change them anyways. It just feels like
Well, yeah, you bring along remnants of things that you enjoyed and then you make them better so that you can enjoy them in a better place. It's like taking an old antique and restoring it.
mm,
Make it prettier, make it more enjoyable to look at. It's still the historic thing, but
some.
it's
What if I like it when it's not enjoyable to look at?
and I guess that's your preference.
Then it just
I
feels more
guess.
familiar, I suppose. It's like I guess the best way I can describe it is if like you had like an old stuffed animal and you've had it since you were a kid and it's been it looks the same for your entire life and then all of a sudden it's you gets replaced with a brand new one and it's still the same one but it's not yours. I know that sounds dumb.
Hmm, I don't know.
It probably sounds stupid. I don't.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. But if there are some things that you don't want to touch, you can let me know and I won't touch them. I'm not laying a finger on Bill's old house.
I don't. I don't know. It's not even like a I have specific things. It's just a feeling I have, I guess, that it's just I I don't think it's really set in yet. I know it definitely should by now, but it just hasn't, and I'm waiting for it to so I can be prepared for it, but I'm not. I feel like it's just gonna catch up to me, and I'm gonna get really upset.
This is what I felt like for 2 years. Preparing for something that's either not gonna happen or I know it's gonna hit me out of the blue. And I'll never actually be ready for it. I just like to think that I am. It provides me comfort in the moment, knowing that I'm always on my toes, but then the moment I let my guard down, it actually hits me. Because turns out all along I wasn't letting myself truly be ready.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just really confusing, I guess.
Yeah.
If I even try to describe it, it wouldn't make any sense. It's just the way I'm thinking lately. It's all messed up. I don't. My brain is just everywhere, and I don't know how to articulate it.
You don't have to, you know?
It's I don't know, cause it's complicated when everyone just sees getting out as a positive, but and don't get me wrong, I did see it as positive. I mean, we saved everyone. Everyone. You know, the corruption didn't hurt most people, and we were able to get out alive, and that's great. I'm happy about that, but also it's just we left so much behind, and I feel like everything's going so quickly. I mean, I don't even feel older. I don't. I know I look older, but I don't feel. I don't feel older at all, really.
Sorry.
Hmm?
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know. Just feel like it. Feel like I owe it to you at the very least. I know you don't want to be here.
You sound like me. You know, when I used to be so. No, I still am, sort of just feeling like all of the stuff that happened in Zero was my fault because I knew no one wanted to
It's my fault now.
be there. I don't. You
I
were.
get it now.
You. You saved everyone. That's not. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at anyone.
And they
It's.
hate me, and they don't trust. I get it now. So I'm sorry for ever doubting you.
I, it's. It's okay.
It's all been a lot for me too. I don't
Yeah.
really get to talk about it a lot.
You can if you need to.
I don't know how, honey. Because I used to tell you how to talk about things all the time. Now I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what this feeling is. It's funny. This like deep rooted feeling of guilt, even though you don't know what you did wrong. You just know that there's eyes on you, and if you do one thing wrong, you're you're done for. No one's ever gonna trust you or believe you again. But if you're too nice to them, they get suspicious too. So it's this act of bending over backwards to defy their expectations, which only confirms them more.
Mm,
And I don't know what to do.
yeah, I understand.
I feel like I'm turning over inside out, bending over backwards, tearing myself apart, just trying to be believed, just trying to do something good. And every time people interpret it in the most unfavorable way possible, and it's so impossibly frustrating because I don't harbor any will towards any of these people, and yet they think I want them dead. They think I'm keeping them here like some kind of sadist, like I'm torturing them for fun, or like I just want to keep them as pets or something, and that's not true, because if I had it my way, you'd all go home. I'd never see any of these people again. And I don't know. But then
I
it gets more complicated because there's you and there's Cody and there's everyone from Zero, and I don't regret meeting you, and I want to hold on to you guys forever, but I want you to go back to where you deserve to be from too.
but I don't know where that is.
But I want you to have a chance to find out.
I don't at this point I don't want to leave, cuz then I'm just leaving all that I care about behind.
And to be honest, I don't want to leave either because I feel the same way, but also I know that you you don't deserve to be trapped in this hell forever. But there's not a secret third option either. I don't know. When I made this, I I, I wanted something ideal, something that felt real, as real as I could possibly make it.
And you did a good job at that. I mean, the air here feels more alive. You
It
definitely did a better job than Sim the Parallax did,
it was a labor of love. It really was.
and you can tell.
No one knows that though. No one believes me when I say it either.
They'll learn.
So I'm at a loss. But I don't want them to just learn. I want them to know.
They're not
I'm
going to know.
impatient. I'm just impatient. I don't want people to stumble through the exact same cycles that we were in before. And I don't know.
Well,
I I don't want to I don't want to look I don't want to look back at old photo records and hold them up to a scene in front of me and find that it's the same thing. I'm watching it happen again. I don't want to look in I don't want to end up looking in the mirror and realizing that it's been 3 years and I haven't changed.
Mm. I I think you've changed a lot. You've honestly changed more than most people here.
I can't watch history repeat itself. Not after I know what the outcome is. Not I can't watch that happen again.
It won't. I trust me. I don't want to see it either. It's the last thing I want. I'm terrified of it happening again.
I'm
All of
still
it.
not over the first time. I can't have it happen a second time, and it's like I'm watching from behind glass where I have to watch it happen and I have to pound on the glass
Val,
and scream and
Val,
beg for it not to happen again.
it's not going to happen again. We're gonna make
It's
sure it doesn't.
happening.
It's not going to. We can't
Okay.
let it happen again. I feel the same way, but we can't let it happen.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna make sure it doesn't. We're gonna make sure none of it happens again.
Yeah.
I know I haven't exactly been the most present in this. I've been off thinking about everything, but it's. We will. We know what not to do, and we have to make it known. Otherwise, it's going to happen again. But we're not gonna let it.
How do we make that known though? I mean, we have the museum and I know we already talked about that, but nobody really seems to care. I mean, people are stealing it out of spite for me. They're stealing from it because they hate me.
You know, the saying "show don't tell." Instead of telling them what not to do, we show them what not to do.
And how do we do that?
Maybe if they want to learn, they have to experience it first. That's how I learned everything. And it's not the prettiest way of Jesus. It's not the prettiest way of learning anything, but it's the only way. You have to learn it that way, otherwise it's not going to get through your head.
I guess so. I just I don't want people to come out of this feeling like the rest of us do. I'm trying to protect them. Like Olympia and those others that are forming whatever the fuck it's called, Twilight Society. It's a direct spit in my face. It,
Well, I mean, put
and
yourself in their shoes for a second. I mean, they're probably just scared. I
I
mean,
know what that feels like. And I know that it was a mistake.
but I mean,
And
think about it. Think about it. Think about it. If you were in their position, which you have been, and imagine Sim was trying to convince you that This is a mistake.
I'm
It's not
not
gonna work.
her.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just giving an example. She was the simulation manager in Zero. You're the manager here.
I I don't know what helped that. I don't I don't know how.
We'll figure it out, I think.
It, maybe
We'll figure it out.
two out of three of them so far are willing to at least speak to me. Hikari and Yama have actually spoken to me before. Civilly. So that's a start.
Libby is just stubborn, I think. But we can change it.
We might go find them soon.
Yeah, if you'd like. I do have someone I have to talk to soon, but if I still have time after that, I could probably come with you.
I might head over there, and then you could meet me over there whenever you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that's alright with you.
Yeah, that works.
Alright.
I'll see you later then.
Yeah, be safe.
Um,
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Uh,
It sounded nice.
thanks. Thanks, Clearidas. What have you been up to?
Um, Not much. Uh, Training, weapons making, house making. That one I had to get used to. It's harder than it looks. I carved out a little space in a flower field, so
Oh, that's
I
nice.
think it's nice. Yeah.
That's good. I've been up to kind of nothing really.
Hmm.
I haven't really done a whole lot since we got here. Just sort of walking around thinking about stuff, so that's been fun, you know, thinking.
I mean, it's kind of nice, I'd hope.
It's sometimes, I mean, you'd
Mm.
think getting out of a place where just constant chaos would be nice, but now I just kind of feel like there's just nothing left for me to do exactly. So I've just been kind of just off on my own, left alone with my thoughts. I guess it's not exactly the most
You could
calming
learn how
feeling
to
in the world.
fight,
I mean,
like
I
with
don't.
swords.
I have an axe. I don't.
I mean, that, no, that works also.
I don't know if I'm really the fighting type of person. I've never really had to fight anyone.
Well, sure, but it's a good skill to have.
I
I mean,
suppose
if you can't fight, you can't protect as effectively as you would be able to otherwise.
that is true, in a way. I guess I've just I've sort of advocated for the opposite thing, where I don't really think fighting is always the best option for things, but as
Mm.
time goes on, I've sort of realized that I can't always have that as an excuse, because it's everyone keeps proving me wrong, I guess. I don't know.
Mm.
Things just keep happening. People keep fighting. People keep killing, no matter what I say. So it's not really like I'm making any difference in that aspect.
I think you make more of a difference than you give yourself credit for.
I don't know. It's just like odd to see something I've tried to stop for so long just not stop. It just keeps
Mm.
going and going.
I think the act of trying to stop it is honorable, if that counts for anything.
It's maybe honorable, but I feel like it's just not making a difference at all. I I don't know.
When we fought at Thermopylae, from what Stiphen told me, it didn't really make much of a difference. I mean, the Persians advanced either way, but people remember it. That has to mean something.
I suppose it's just been a lot. I guess it's been a lot of just me thinking about stuff, and that's not always fun, especially now.
Now, with
Uh, yeah, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, earlier you said later was a better time to explain. I don't know if you um meant it or not. That sounds harsh. I don't know if you are ready to explain, if later was later, or if
Uh,
later was.
I suppose I could. Just what are you curious about? Because I mean, not even all of it I understand myself. I'm trying to
Mm,
understand it probably as much as you are. I'm just, what are you wondering exactly?
I'm wondering, first off, if there's anything you know about him that isn't uh, obvious, clear, that he's um, back but new.
It's complicated. The version of him that's here right now is a version of him that really only I knew. back in my first simulation. I mean, he was a lot younger then, but this one's older. But it was the one before everything that was sort of made to watch over me, and so he only really, when he first got here, he only really knew me, but he's slowly sort of learning everything. He's getting all of the talks from everyone about, who everyone is, what's happened. So he knows some people now, but he's still getting information. And he says he's trying
Right.
to get information to help me, and I don't know what that means. And he's saying that, everything will go back to the way it was before, which is impossible because the way it was before was the other one, and he's dead now. So that I don't know what he means by that at all. I have no idea.
Say again what he's promising you.
He says that things will go back to the way they were before, like nothing ever changed, which is impossible. So
Hmm. I mean, it's probably good that you recognize that.
I'm trying to. It's still kind of hard for me to believe that things have to change,
Mm.
but it's a complicated situation. I don't know. It's a lot.
I understand. I don't. Let me ask another question.
Hmm.
Does does he ever feel off to you?
I won't say that he hasn't. That's just because he is an AI technically. He's an assistant. He's made of code. He's always been that way. But I mean, after he came back, after he died the first time, he was more human that way. He was human at by that point, but then
Mm.
stuff happened and he got corrupted again and all of that.
Right.
This one is basically reset. He acts like, you know, he acts like any other simulation assistant would, like Taurus or Waffles. He acts like he just is following orders from, I mean, in this case, Sim, when that's not even, you know,
Right.
and he obviously doesn't remember a lot, and he keeps saying that he's gonna fix things, and that's obviously confusing. I
Can
don't
you
know.
say without a doubt that there's one fundamental difference between the old him and the new him?
And that would be,
That if he dies, will there be corruption again?
I, um, I don't, I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what's gonna happen with that because the the reason why he corrupted in the first place wasn't, it was the, he corrupted because I died.
Hmm.
And
And
you know that sort of jump started it, and it wasn't really apparent that he was corrupted until, you know things started getting really bad, and then it got obvious. It started spreading places. Uh, oh, um, it started spreading places, and
I'm sorry, should I not be?
It's it's fine. Just it,
My point being, I'm a little bit worried, and I
worried.
wanted to approach you as someone with uh, an outside perspective on things.
All right.
Um, so here's what I'm seeing from what you've told me is that your brother is here, some version of him promising to fix things and turn them back to the way they were, gathering information that he can, and we cannot or have not confirmed whether or not he could become the source of another corruption.
Mhm.
That's an issue.
It is.
Can your brother, or something that looks very much like him, is here?
Uh huh.
He is gathering information, and we cannot confirm whether or not he could be the source of another corruption.
Yes, that's what I know at least.
Mhm. So that's a concern.
Is it now?
I understand that you care about him deeply. I understand that. I have seen it.
Mhm.
But what's happening and the decisions that you make extend beyond just yourself in this circumstance.
Then what are you suggesting I do about it?
I'm not suggesting that you do anything. I don't think it would be fair to put that on you. I'm just asking you to consider maybe this maybe this will be communicated more effectively if it isn't coming directly from me. So let me tell you an example that Val told me
Okay.
before we left Simulation Zero. She described to me a version of the Trojan horse, the wooden, real one, but one that
Uh-huh.
was digital, simulated, somewhere to do with computers and things. Something that could sneak in undetected or get invited somewhere and then cause chaos, destruction, like the real one did. With that in mind, I hope you can see my concern when a gift appears shortly after we have escaped an apocalyptic event. When a gift appears, a miracle that, for all intents and purposes, should not be possible. We were very clear that when the simulation went down, Bill would go with it, but he's here. He's here, and
It's
he's claiming to fix things.
it's more complicated than that, and you don't know that, which is fine. But it's not just it's not just him. There's something else, and it's
That doesn't fill me with confidence.
It's when we were talking, he said there was this voice that was in the room with him wherever he was, and this was when we were still in stasis, and he said that his name was Osiris, and he knew me, and he knew my friends, and Val, and Cooper, and Cody, and he didn't talk a lot. He's only messaged me a few times, and even then they were not normal messages. They were more like pop-ups. They were code at times, and if I know him at all, that's not the first time he's done something like that. It's familiar to me, and the build that you've seen around didn't bring this tree here, and neither did Val, and no one else knows except for him. There's something else going on. I know it.
I understand that. That's what I'm afraid of.
Why are you why?
Because something like this, even in the best case scenario, is a bad thing for the simulation, is a bad thing for Val. And I think I've overstepped. I think I am causing you distress. So
It's just
I'm going to take my leave, and perhaps we can talk another time about this. But I want you to consider Val cares very strongly for you. And as the leader of this simulation, she takes you into account when making her decisions more than you realize. If you need to be very careful about what you show her that you want, because if it comes time to make a hard decision, I think she will choose in favor of you.
right. Okay.
So I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm just asking you to be careful with what you say you want to happen, what you say that you want to stay the same, and what you say that you can't, under any circumstances, lose.
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
It's for the greater good, Fable.
Yeah. Thanks.
Don't thank me. We do what we must.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave you to it.
Mm-hmm.